This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Patricio Brongo from Antolino Brongo in Quebec. How are you today, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Now, we are here today to speak about ice cider. For those people who don't know anything about ice cider, would you mind telling me a little bit about what it is?
Ice Cider was born 20 years ago. It was a French guy who came in Quebec to produce ice wine. Since at that time it was really hard to grow grape there in Quebec.
It's still pretty hard to grow grapes there, isn't it?
It's still, but we won't talk about that today. It's another issue. He tried to produce the ice wine with apples. So mainly ice cider is the same idea as ice wine. The same process is it's freezing the apples or the fruit outdoors, pressing it frozen, keeping all the natural sugar in the must for fermentation and then for aging and bottling. So it was born 20 years ago, and the first ice cider on the market arrived in I think it was 2000 or 1999. So it was it's a pretty young industry.
How did your particular house come about? How did your cidery start?
In fact, it's my brother who's a biologist, and he was really interested in this new industry in 2003 and 4. So he decided to buy apples and produce an ice cider in his backyard in Montreal. So,
where did he get the apples from?
He bought the apples from the Marché Jean Talon in Montreal, and then from there he did, and that's how Cryomalis is born. Is that we do this unique process that is passerillage in French. It's used in Italy for the pasitos as well. It's drying the apples outdoors. So he dried the apples in his backyard, pressing the apples with his little press that he rented, and then did the fermentation in controlled temperature fridge. So that's how Cryomalis is born. It's born in a backyard in Montreal. From there, I was in the wine industry, so we did a blind tasting with the other ice ciders on the market, and Cryomalis was, from my point of view, the best ice cider. Why? Because it has the acidity, the complexity of an apple that you that you ripe, and then all the process of fermentation, of the passerillage, fermentation, aging. We treat Cryomalis as a wine.
Now, where would you place Cryomalis when you were having it at the dinner table? Is it something that you would have instead of dessert, something with dessert, perhaps with something like a foie gras at the beginning of a meal?
Actually, it's pretty interesting because we're in the family of the dessert wines. The first wine show that we did was Vinoble in Spain. But the idea of Cryomalis is, as we love the gastronomy and the family, we want to have a product that you can serve anywhere during the meal. So you can have it as an entry, as an appetizer, with cheeses, with fruit, with a salad with fruit. You can have it with foie gras. You can have it at the end as well as a dessert. So I think Cryomalis is really versatile, and you can, because of the natural acidity and because the sugar is not that high as if you compare it to another dessert wine, I think
it's perhaps a little more versatile.
A lot more than I think than wine. So this is the good thing about the apple: the natural acidity and keeping the sugar as low as possible. Because to be an ice cider, considered as an ice cider in Quebec, you've got to have a minimum of 130 grams of sugar residual.
Well, thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution today, Patricio. We look forward to catching up with you in the future.
Thank you very much.